what I would say is, well, what's woke right is same energy, different direction.
There is a civil war happening right now on the right between the moderates, aka the racists, and the woke right, aka the white supremacists, and they are at each other's throat.
Criticize, criticize, criticize.
Jordan Peterson, that's a name you probably haven't heard in a while because he's been having a hard year getting slowly ostracized from the right as his pseudo-intellectual shtick has long worn off.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Turns out the party of alpha male grifters and domestic terrorism doesn't want a thought leader who cries at the thought of a water bottle.
You know, I've always had a very acute sense of the finitude of existence.
And now Peterson is on the edge of the conservative movement, being shoved towards our side, although I think I speak for all of us when I say that we do not want him. Peterson just released this video that pissed off even more conservatives. When the right has gone too far, an interview with another conservative thought leader, Dr. James Lindsay, who has coined the phrase, the woke right. And let me tell you, the right did not like this video, as evidence from this like to dislike ratio, and the many very pissed off comments. We'll dive into this concept of woke right and why the Republicans are eating each other alive over this, which I, for one, love to see. But real quick, if you're enjoying the coverage here and want to join our resistance, consider subbing to Really American. It's free, helps us get to 1 million, and we thank you greatly for it. This whole debacle stems from an interview with Jordan Peterson and James Lindsay, and it culminates in a very public back and forth between Lindsay and the greasy loser known as Matt Walsh, known for his groundbreaking conservative documentaries, What is a Woman and Am I Racist?, both of which can be answered with yes. Well, no nonsense, always offended by being called a straight white man, Matt Walsh, isn't too keen on what James Lindsay is here to say.
So the expression that I could give to tie people, just to bring woke right back to the conversation, is we're familiar now with the machinations of woke left, right? And what I would say is, well, what's woke right is same energy, different direction. You have all of those same exact, whether it's Luciferian at the high level, whether it's struggle sessions, Machiavellianism,
well, we've got a
sadism at the low
hierarchy
level.
there. It's like it's Luciferian at the core. Then we've got the cluster B dark tetrad traits. Then there's the mechanisms that you described, right? So that's a differentiated. Then that gives us a way of identifying.
So if we use the kind of, pop word of the day of, vibes or energy, it's same energy, different direction.
I can't believe that these are the intellectual giants on the right. Like, if you took a transcript of their dialogue and gave it to somebody, that person would probably think it's two people in the throes of psychosis. This was a massive betrayal to the online right, by the way. I mean, for years, these weirdos have been collecting on sites like 4chan and Reddit, riling each other up and using language like groypers and based to refer to themselves. An identity that's built on white supremacy, anti-Semitism, and an overall disdain for the establishment.
Okay, so the left has told us, the far left has told us, you can't be racist. Racist is worse. Everybody's a racist. And of course, they completely made degenerate the concept of racism, the word racism, the accusation, the sky is racist, going for a hike is racist. But they aren't trying to reclaim and say, okay, no, wait. Racism's bad. We don't want to be racist. And nobody should be racist. And the left completely ruined it. So we need to reclaim the term and have this healthy societal norm about discrimination and bigotry. What they're doing instead is saying it's time for us to be a little bit racist. The left said, don't be racist, so we're going to be really racist. And we're going to do it in order to make, to own the libs, as they sometimes phrase the thing, right? But really it's to reject woke culture as the pretext. They're not acting racist or blaming Jews for everything going wrong in society or, getting further and further into the racial expression or the white racial consciousness or whatever, or the white supremacy or even white nationalism in order to challenge the left.
No.
They're doing it to challenge the center, the healthy core of society and its norms.
Clearly, white supremacy and anti-Semitism are not a winning strategy, at least not open white supremacy and anti-Semitism, the kind that Matt Walsh loves to engage in. This little lovers' quarrel started because Matt has been arguing all week about how it's a good thing that people gave that racist mom who said the N-word to a child $730,000 as of recording this video. Matt says that people are sick of the racial double standards. They're fed up. It's just that simple. Anti-communist James Lindsay here points out in a tweet that's way too long that maybe it's a bad idea for Republicans to be donating nearly $1 million to a random racist lady. He stopped short of calling Matt woke right, but that doesn't come till later. He said, I don't think this makes Matt Walsh racist, nor does he make him woke right. I don't think Matt is woke. I think he's vain, a midwit, and tribal. Oh, hell yeah. Read him for filth, queen. And his tribe is doing this, and he can look good taking a stand that someone smarter than a midwit would understand why you don't take. It's foolishness passing itself as bravery, and Matt Walsh isn't woke. He's just a garden variety fool. Stop getting your thoughts from pundits. Matt Walsh responds in a whine. Here's James writing an entire book responding to half my argument. He concludes at the end that I'm a fool and a midwit, because of course it makes perfect sense to write a novel responding to a midwit. Oh, dude, he's so insulted. But these kinds of guys can't help themselves. They just have to advertise their perceived intellectual superiority. They can't help but be pretentious, pompous assholes. And that's why they have no real influence. They're only talking to themselves. To which James Lindsay replies, you're a midwit, Matt. And you can see by the disparity between the likes that James is not on the popular side of this argument. Matt responds, James is very concerned about tribalism. James also wants you to know that anyone who doesn't agree with his very specific brand of liberalism is a midwit, a racist, or both. James, the brilliant thinker and astute analyst, does not notice the contradiction here. Ugh, I love this catfight. It reads like a spat between two scorned lovers. Lindsay replies, Matt, I'm literally the only one here who sacrificed his tribe to tell the truth. You're projecting. And finally, Matt responds with, you sacrificed your tribe and formed a new and smaller one, and now you viciously attack anyone outside of it. I have no problem with that in principle, by the way, because everyone is tribal. It's in human nature. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? It's just that some people, like you, pretend to have transcribed that behavior even as you exhibit it. Unfortunately, this little conversation did not mend the differences between these two titans of philosophy. They're arguing about a term that they don't even understand. They've gotten so into the weeds that everyone is lost. The word woke has been so distorted from its original meaning that it's starting to not even sound like the same word. Matt Lewis, who is a Daily Beast contributor and conservative Trump critic, said it's plausible that this is totally organic. If you hire a bunch of people who have a certain worldview, racism, don't be surprised when they act consistent to that worldview. They're going to try to claim the scalp of any guy who is too mainstream for their taste and not like red-pilled. I think that's the term for woke on the right. But woke isn't the same as red-pilling. Red-pilling means to actively engage in extreme right-wing politics. They want woke to be the opposite of red-pilling so that they can make reading and understanding racial history in this country the same as extreme white supremacy and anti-Semitism. It's insidious, but it's effective. And I'm so glad that they're starting to target each other with this wordplay bullshit now, too. I'm Tony Hinderman with Really American, and I'll catch you next time.